He kept riding north and never looked back.
You wouldn't leave. Not like that.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video game voice actor performances.
What happened to just living a normal life?
For this list, we'll be looking at video game characters we were blown away by thanks to the fantastic performers behind them. However, we won't be including any characters whose actor took up the role prior to appearing in video games. As incredible as he is, you won't find Mark Hamill's Joker here. What video game performance tops your list? Let us know in the comments down below. Number 10, David Hayter as Old Snake, Metal Gear Solid 4.
Liquid!
David Hayter had been playing Snake in Metal Gear Solid since voice acting in games became a thing. But the fourth mainline game is where he put out his best work. When it released, Guns of the Patriots was far more dialogue heavy than previous entries. You wouldn't have caught us complaining. That just means more chances to hear Hayter as the grizzled old hero. While the plot was criticized for being overly complicated, it is a Metal Gear game after all. We still hung on the actor's every word.
Flip up sight, rail system. Not bad. Yeah, well, you know.
With Snake's life on the line, Hayter's performance was a bit more on edge here, in that he sold the urgency and desperation of his situation.
Wipe this meme from the face of the earth.
Number 9, Stephen Ogg as Trevor Phillips, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Here, darling. Why don't you go get yourself something nice, okay?
Thank you. Is it $7?
I said something nice, not expensive.
Trevor is one of the most unhinged video game characters of all time. While he was written to be that way, we doubt he would have made as strong and long-lasting an impression if not for Stephen Ogg. As one of the 3 playable characters, Trevor epitomizes the chaos of the entire GTA franchise. He's certifiably insane and extremely violent, yet he's also charismatic and hilarious.
And I think I've proved that my organization is a reliable supplier. In short, it's you and me. Now give me some of that goddamn X.
It's impossible to know what will set him off and what he'll do next. And with every obscenity, outburst, and heinous act, Ogg delivers a giddy, energetic performance. You can tell he's having an absolute blast playing Trevor, making the portrayal all the stronger.
Listen, beautiful. I'm sorry about everything that's happened. And, I can't guarantee no harm's gonna come to you. I might have to chop you up into little pieces before spraying your pulp mess down the drain, but I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Number 8, Melina Juergens as Senua, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Mama! I need you. Help me.
Hellblade may have drawn us in with its tragic tale and focus on Norse myth, but it's Melina Juergens that keeps us glued to our controllers. The story follows the warrior Senua as she attempts to save her lover's soul from the underworld. All the while, she must deal with her increasingly troublesome psychosis. Senua feels immense grief and sorrow throughout the game, reflected in her decreasing mental state. Juergens delivers every element with the aplomb of a seasoned actor, which is actually surprising since she had never done any motion capture or voice acting prior to this.
You brought me back. You found your own way back.
She received several nominations for work and rightfully won at the 2017 Game Awards. Number 7, Michael Mando as Vaas Montenegro, Far Cry 3.
From California, huh? Well, I hope your mama and your papa really love you. Because you 2 white boys, you look very expensive.
Vaas gets less screen time than many other villains. But what Michael Mando does with that time is a masterclass in acting villainous. During a vacation gone wrong, players must deal with the head pirate after their friends are captured. The villain could have been one note, simply an obstacle for the player. Prior to Mando's casting, Ubisoft planned on making the game's villain a massive musclehead named Bull.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Luckily, when Mando auditioned, the developer chose to model Vaas after him. For all intents and purposes, the actor birthed the character. His performance changed the developer's plan entirely, relying on his calm yet sadistic mannerisms and way of speaking to develop him further. Good call.
By the way, this lighter really sucks. You know, so much for poetics. It's really too bad that Citra had to hook you up. Because now the only way to kill you is to erase you completely.
Number 6, Courtney Draper as Elizabeth, BioShock Infinite.
Why? Why did they put me in here? What am I? What am I?
BioShock Infinite has its flaws, though Courtney Draper's portrayal of Elizabeth certainly isn't one of them. Players took on the job of rescuing Elizabeth from Columbia, the floating city in the sky. As soon as we met her, we understood exactly why she was so worthy of protection. She's delightful. As she's been held captive most of her life, Elizabeth wastes no time enjoying freedom.
Well, come dance with me, Mr. Dwayne.
I don't dance. Come on, let's go.
Why? What can be better than this?
Draper is adept at selling Elizabeth's wonder with the outside world, as she is with her dissatisfaction with Booker and the depravity hidden beneath Columbia's shiny surface. However, as Elizabeth grows more confident with her powers, so too does Draper's performance grow. Elizabeth holds many facets, each of which Draper executes wonderfully.
I was so set on getting to Paris. I didn't really think that.
You couldn't have known this would happen.
Number 5, Ellen McLain as GLaDOS, Portal 2.
I can't move, and unless you're planning to saw your own head off and wedge it into my old body, you're going to need me to replace him.
Just because a performance is reserved does not mean it's not worthy of praise. Case in point, Ellen McLain's GLaDOS. Valve's sequel features more content and more voice actors, yet McLain still manages to shine. She brings with her the same disdain for humanity and the dry, sarcastic wit she had perfected in the first game.
How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
But as Portal 2 delves into her surprisingly engaging past, McLain gets a bit more to work with. Her humorous insults and insatiable bloodlust had already made her an enduring villain. But her understanding of where she came from added a sympathetic layer we didn't think possible. McLain's delivery is both subtle and monumental, a rare feat for a voice actor to pull off.
And I'll be honest, killing you is hard. You know what my days used to be like? I just tested. Nobody murdered me or put me in a potato.
Number 4, Nolan North as Nathan Drake, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End.
What can I say? I was raised Catholic. I always carry one.
The partnership between Naughty Dog and Nolan North resulted in one of the most charming protagonists in video games. While the charm was well enacted for his final adventure, the writing and acting took Drake to new highs. We followed Nate as he attempted to give up his previous life, with a long-lost brother pulling him back in.
After the last few days, I think I'd like a plane with drink service and reclining seats.
North had perfected the devil-may-care persona, but injected it with a level of confliction, uncertainty, and fear that we hadn't quite seen before. For the first time, it felt like Nate could lose, and lose dearly at that. This story required a more personal performance, something that North more than delivered on.
So, what do you say, Nathan Drake?
Sure, why not? Yeah, as long as I don't have to do any paperwork.
Number 3, Christopher Judge as Kratos, God of War.
Get in the boat, boy.
Kratos started out as one thing and became something completely different in Christopher Judge's hands. God of War's narrative focused heavily on responsibility and familial ties, and so Judge added depth to a character that, outside of his backstory, wasn't exactly deep. Don't get us wrong, we loved hearing his booming voice and catching glimpses of that past ferocity.
I warned warned you.
Finally.
You would not listen.
But the story simply wouldn't work without the restraint, stoicism, and rare moments of comfort and love that Judge provided. The actor used his real-life experiences and self-proclaimed failures as a father to fuel his performance. With Kratos' growth handled so masterfully, it's now hard for us to remove Judge from the character. Not that we'd want to.
Your knife. No. Finish what you started.
Number 2, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hey, I ain't had time to ask. What really went down back there on that boat? We missed you. That's what happened. Come on. Oh.
While we'll always love Rod Wiedoff's John Marston, we just can't deny Arthur Morgan the spot. Players take Arthur on a journey during the last days of the Wild West. His characterization is just as brutal as you'd expect an outlaw to be. However, within the violence is something kinder and warmer itching to break free.
If I wasn't waiting on this lady, you'd be dead already. But if you continue to irritate me, I'll kill you. I make my apologies to the lady. It's your call.
Oh, I didn't mean nothing.
Been so demeaned you might lie. Apology accepted.
Roger Clark showcases every detail of this inner struggle so ridiculously well, you'd be forgiven for thinking him a mainstay in the AAA gaming space. The actor's delivery is so strong, it's almost as if he's a real person. It's no surprise then that he received several acting nominations, even beating out Christopher Judge at the 2018 Game Awards.
He got killed or he got captured.
No.
I'm really sorry.
No!
Abigail, I was on the train and I didn't see it.
No.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. David Fennoy as Lee Everett, The Walking Dead, a beautiful portrayal of a man trying to do the right thing.
It's not my fault.
Logan Cunningham as Hades and Others, Hades. This man breathes life into a whole pantheon.
This cold white substance falling slowly from the heavens. Snow, they call it. Look carefully upon each fleck.
Camilla Luddington as Laura Croft, Tomb Raider, handles the transition from helpless to survivor flawlessly.
I'd finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Ashley Johnson as Ellie, The Last of Us.
Why are we still talking about this?
The Last of Us is a series defined by incredible performances, from Troy Baker's Joel to Laura Bailey's Abby. But if we could only pick one, it's Ashley Johnson's Ellie we would kill for. As the one person immune to the cordyceps infection, Ellie has a lot on her shoulders. But she's also just a kid, and Ashley Johnson balances these sides like the pro she is.
We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together.
In every corny joke and swear-laden insult, she emits a playfulness that makes you want to laugh along with her. On the other hand, moments of sadness and despair make us want to give everything just to make her smile again. In Johnson's talented hands, Ellie is a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.